Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. But unfortunately, a lot of individuals, when they behind the bars, they get upset at everyone that's not behind the bars, even though they went above and beyond to go behind the bars themselves.
This is hurtful. I know my brother said that he put some books out and made bare minimum, and that's the way he take care of his family, which, in those books is what I disagree with. He talked about my mom, my dad, the people that created him. He said that they didn't do nothing for him, which is a lie. And anybody that know me, I don't need to be pat on the back or nothing. Whatever I done for him. I done it out of love.
Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button. Popular rapper C Murder was a multi-millionaire living real good. Then one day he went out to a club and he decided to do something. Hear from the brother that C Murder is accused of murder.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah, different days.
Different days.
I need your diet.
So I'll get your thyroid fixed. So, all right, you're down. You get notified that he's been murdered, right? And then
C Murder was from Louisiana. He was a very good rapper. They say he was making millions of dollars every year.
Slowly, but can you paint it for me like a movie, what happened during this time?
So when I first hear...
Were you hearing about the streets
C Murder?
talking?
When I first hear C Murder's name, I'm like, is this real? Because I'm still unsure, and I know everybody that come to prison got a million stories.
Right.
So I don't know what's real. So then when I'm watching, MTV was out at the time. You know how they used to do breaking news, right?
Yeah.
And they were like arrested at whatever the club was in New Orleans. I think House of Blues, outside the House of Blues. And I was like, wow, it is.
They said C Murder was accused and convicted of murdering a 16-year-old
So then I'm
young
watching
man.
it, and at this time, Master P wasn't the Master P now. I mean, by mannerism.
Right.
So I'm watching it, and he's like, I try to reach out to this family, and this family just want money, and he's saying this on 106 in Park, and I'm like, this guy don't know nothing about us, right? So I'm hot, but I'm still calling home trying to see what's going on. He don't get trialed until I think.
Master P, being C Murder's big brother, maybe he felt some type of obligations to apologize.
Still want to harp on the latest 10-2, but the first one was 12-0.
Right.
Yeah, wasn't a hung jury. First.
Yeah. And
then the guy Peanut, when I came home, the one who testified at the first trial, the second trial as well, he told exactly what happened before anyone else would talk.
Yeah. So
C Murder, he's saying he's an innocent man.
Family over the phone and what the news was, what MTV and BET was watching. And I honestly, and I'm going to be honest, because my mindset was like, I'm thinking, OJ, like you got money, you're going to walk. Right. The whole world believes you did it, but you're going to walk. And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, certainly he had the money.
Unfortunately, a lot of these individuals, when they're making millions of dollars, they feel like they're on top of the world. They feel like they're untouchable.
But it wasn't the case.
Correct.
Right.
So after the conviction, and then they telling me that the guys who testified and everything that happened, and then I was like, okay, it's over. But then it wasn't over, because then it gets a retrial, and I'm like, how does this happen?
Yeah, that's where the money stuff comes in.
So. Right.
C Murder, being a multimillionaire, he had access to a lot of resources.
And how did that happen?
That happened from Master P in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But what happened legally was the judge, Martha Sassoon, said that the DA was withholding evidence that the witnesses had a dirty background, speeding ticket or something, and one of them was facing another charge. So she said because that didn't come to light,
It's a Brady violation.
Right.
And, well, you know, she's saying.
C. Murder is saying that he wants another retrial again. He wants a third one. He wants a third one.
Defense had that in their.
It would have been
their ammo pouch.
They could have used it as a. Well, he's not a reliable witness.
Right.
She's not a reliable. Right.
And then later she gets in trouble and she had to step down. I don't know if you know her story.
Yeah.
So everyone already knew she was dirty from that instance.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he gets a second trial, and you're still down. Right.
And no, I'm out for the second trial.
All right. Tell me about that.
So when I come home, when I first come home, Peanut used to run with my cousin BJ. So Peanut was one of the guys, the witnesses whom everyone's saying changed their story. So he comes to me personally and he said,
it's very unfortunate that young man being 16 years old. It's very unfortunate if C. Murder really did the crime, like what everyone's saying that he did, like what he's been, sent to prison for. It's very unfortunate that Master P had to apologize for his little brother. It's very unfortunate that his little brother didn't want to fess up.
Hey, this is what happened, and tells me exactly what happened. That it was a fight. That at the end of the fight, C. Murder raised up his shirt while looking at him as the bouncer, and he was like, "Hey, you got him, you got him." And he was like, "Okay, okay," and he's looking like this, but steady raising his shirt, and stands over him and shoot him.
Yeah.
And it's important to note that,
that's crazy. That's what the brother said. The brother said the bouncer saw C. Murder. He said he seen him do it. That sometimes when you confess to what you did, sometimes you have good reason. It could be self-defense or something like that. They said sometimes the court system be
or at least I think it is. Originally it was reported that these individuals that jumped your brother in there had CP3 shirts on, hoodies, and that is the
Callio Project.
Callio Project.
See, Murder was from Callio Projects.
Basically the logo, if you will. So that would point certainly to his group for sure.
Well, and then the police during the investigation, I mean, it came out and like I said, the streets talk, and then people said it was his crew.
Yeah. And look,
the thing is, a lot of individuals, they say the streets talk. They really do. And everyone was saying it was either C. Murder or someone C. Murder knew who killed that young man.
C. Murder was already in trouble in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Club Rags. He actually tried. Do you remember Club Rags?
And that was on video.
That was on video. Yes. And the only reason it didn't go off was because of
jammed. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
unfortunately, they said C. Murder, he was a menace to society.
Prior to that was certainly an indication.
And then his best friend, Wango, he the one who put all the dots together. Yeah. And he said the same thing that Peanut said. And those two don't run in the same circle. Right. One was a football player. One was a real gangster.
Right.
So
the one thing that never changed, though, George, is truth.
Right.
Yeah. And so when you work an investigation like that, and of course it's going to be high profile right off the bat, not because your brother the victim, but because when the detective starts, they're going to be like, holy shit.
I'm trying to figure out was C. Murder was under influence or something? The fact that he would do what he did and there were so many witnesses around. It's unbelievable.
It's going to go to trial and no defense attorney is going to plead their client to life in prison, which is what second-degree murder gets you, and they didn't do it as far.
But he was offered 20 years.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. They don't.
If C. Murder had taken that 20 years, he would be home right now. But unfortunately, a lot of these guys, they want to do the crime, but they don't want to do the time at all. They don't want to stay a day in there, not even a week. C. Murder wish he had taken that 20
Put the
years
death penalty
right
on
now.
the table immediately, and the only reason they do that is generally to get it dropped down to second-degree murder without a trial. You just plea out and instead of execute me. But then they know if you charge them with second-degree murder, you're going to trial. But the defense attorney also knows I'm gonna get my client a deal, or at least an offer of a deal. And so they offer him 20, and he still got the big head.
Yeah, so when they offered him 20, he said, I'm not, his exact words was, I'm not taking shit. I'm not taking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
C. Murder said, I'm not taking 20. I'm only going to take a life, and that's it. That's it. He was scared to do that 20 years. Think about that. He was nervous. He wished he had taken that 20 years.
Comes from the upbringing and the lifestyle and thinking that you're untouchable. You know, you get away with the club rags.
And the drugging, too, because he had a heroin.
Well, they're making the money. More than just spending a record.
Right, a rock star life.
Yeah. And there were rumors that night that he was actually drugged out.
That's unfortunate. If C. Murder was under the influence of something, that'd be a terrible thing. I don't know though.
Yeah, on heroin, right?
Yeah.
And even now, till this day, I don't know if you guys follow it, but I follow like everything. So Suboxone. So who takes Suboxone? That's heroin addict, right?
Yeah.
And just couple months ago, he shot heroin in Angola. He was in a hole twice.
Really?
Trying to OD.
I didn't know that.
I saw that
They say that Angola is a very dangerous prison. Very dangerous prison. It's one of the oldest prisons in Louisiana.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
That's when he was in a hole and everybody was like, what's going on and what happened.
They were saying
trying to say that he was trying to commit suicide. But that's what it was. It was the heroin.
He was banging heroin. And if that had got out, Kim Kardashian then wouldn't.
Right. And I'm like, why this stuff doesn't get out?
Right. Well, when they get out, control media what they want to get out.
Right.
And
they said when you do certain drugs, you're not in the right state of mind. They said that if you're not in the right state of mind, you shouldn't be held responsible for a lot of stuff you do while you're under the influence. I wonder why this didn't apply to C. Murder. Or maybe I don't know the
20
law.
years
Maybe I'm
where
wrong.
he didn't take that 20-year plea, because he'd be out by now if he would have took that plea. They say, well, an innocent man, that's why he didn't take that plea. He's an innocent man, right? This proves, and I think Woody just brought up a good point.
C. Murder might be an innocent man, but unfortunately, sometimes when you're an innocent person and they say they offer you 20 years or life, some individuals say, you know what? It's not fair, but give me that 20 years right now, man.
Arrogance,
right?
It'll screw you a lot. And I think he just thought just what he said. You don't have anything on me. And I got a lot of money, and I can fight this thing and not do one day.
He's thinking,
much less 20 years.
Go back to the lifestyle, and he's thinking, my crew's not going to rat on me.
Unfortunately, that goes for a lot of individuals. They let the money get to their heads. They start thinking they're bigger than the program. And you just have to, you have to show them, hey, you're not bigger than a program.
I'm not going to rat on them. and you know witnesses,
but they
can't take the stand.
Yeah,
and I was guilty and didn't take a plea trial, so I'm like that argument is shot.
there you go.
Don't mean you're innocent,
right?
Yeah.
It just means you think you're gonna walk.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy, man. But you know, think about different lifestyles. Let's say it's a doctor, and I used to have the.
Unfortunately, that's how the prison system make their money. They need people in there.
Contract with the state of Louisiana to. I do polygraphs also to do the doctors and the nurses that got in trouble. Man, you wouldn't believe they would get put on probation, like by the medical board, right? And every 3 months, I'd have to test them to see if they're following the rules of probation. You wouldn't believe the stuff they've done. But the thing is, it's whether you come from the projects or you come from Harvard Medical. I think there's a certain you're inside your own little certain world, right? And then you're like, this is my world. I own this motherfucker, and they can't touch
Nobody
me.
can touch.
A lot of individuals feel like they're above the law. They feel like the rules apply to everyone else but them. And then they realize they were wrong. But by the time that happens,
You're going, buddy, I'm going to put a
too late.
polygraph on you, and you're going to lose your doctor's license, right? Well, I mean, they offered him 20. He's like, spin it.
Did he ever take a polygraph? Have you ever heard of him?
I haven't heard of him taking a polygraph.
Yeah, well,
I just
See, murder never tried to prove his innocence.
no.
by taking a
I don't think he
polygraph.
did. But again, I'm not 100%
yeah,
sure.
I'm thinking,
I don't.
good and bad and
I would imagine that
Yeah.
would have come out.
If he was my client, I would have told him don't.
Yeah,
take a
he didn't
polygraph
know.
with
He
me.
didn't even want to take the stand. It was more arrogance of, like
Yeah.
I said, thinking he was going to walk.
Let's talk about that if you don't mind. So you're out for a second trial. Tell me about the trial. What your thought on the process is. What it's like to sit there and look at him in the courtroom every day.
So it was hatred in the beginning,
know.
and I'm gonna be honest. Like I said,
See, murder upon a second trial, he's probably thinking, you know what? I'm going to get off.
I didn't
still
even
see
know.
murder.
So I was like, did he do it? Didn't he do it?
Right.
Because you hear all of these different stories. So even with my cousins, I'm like, you would.
Only way you know for sure if he did it.
Tell me something, but you don't want to talk to the police, and I didn't get. So I was like, let me do my own investigation.
Right.
So with Peanut telling me what he told me, and then Wango saying what he said, and taking a plea trial, I'm like, well, this part has to be true. But I still went in unbiased, and I was like, I want to hear everything. So the part that really got to me when they were talking about how they jumped him, then I'll probably.
See, murder was in his 30s when he decided to jump a 60-year-old boy.
Would have been on
Him and his
YouTube
friends.
where the guy get up and jump and court.
jumps in
Like
court.
that's the hatred that I had at the time,
Right.
and it was like so much anger.
And you know what? And it goes back to the lifestyle, bro. There's no reason to jump your brother. He was 16 years
Right.
old. And it, like, what pride do you get out of 5 or however many dudes jumping a 16-year-old and beating
Yeah,
him?
like you can't one on one. You
Right,
shouldn't be
right,
fighting
right,
a kid,
right,
but
right,
still, but like
And-
I can't figure that part out. Maybe this guy was twice C murder size, 3 times the size. That just seems very strange why grown men need to.
takes all
there's
of
no
you to
shame
do
in
that.
having your ass beat by a crew, but then
You shoot him out of spite.
shoot him over. But you didn't have to shoot him. He's already
Right.
down.
Right.
You stand over and shoot him, and I hate to say this, but in execution style, bro, that's just fucking wrong. I don't care who it is.
Unfortunately, I believe C murder, it was in him. He named his name C murder, and he wanted to see murder.
No doubt about
Or
it.
I don't care. I mean, I don't care how your brother was living. I don't care anybody in the world who it is. Nobody deserves to be executed like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And another thing that people bring up when they fight for this to say that C Murder did not do this is they bring up an individual that admitted that he He did the killing. So let's talk about that real quick.
Wine Flowers.
Yeah.
So Wine Flowers.
Unbelievable. Imagine you telling the police, I did it. And they say, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
3 weeks before the second trial, Wine Flowers calls Jefferson Parish District Attorney, or his lawyer calls, and he said he wanted to admit to Wine Flowers killing my brother. So the DA was like, Wine Flowers was already serving.
I have to admit, a name like that, I don't think you would take them serious.
A life sentence in Georgia.
Yep.
So
for murder
you already down for a murder. Right. So you want to take this one. If you really did it, then okay, we accept your plea, but we want the death penalty because you was already serving life.
Right.
And then like 35 minutes later, he calls back and says, "Oh no, it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
I was just kidding." Yeah.
Right.
They said a death penalty could change the whole equation. That death penalty just changed the whole equation.
And then, of course,
Well,
I'm sure he wasn't telling the truth, but the deal being is, once you do that, you call in and say, "Hey, it's this way," and then they were like, "Oh yeah, well then we'll hit you with this, right?"
Yeah, he said he was trying to derail the trial.
No, I was just playing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was doing. And of course, think of the street cred he'd have got if he'd have got see murder out.
Right.
By saying he took the charge.
And he had nothing to lose at the time in his mind because I'm already in there for life.
In prison anyway. And Georgia life is life.
Unfortunately, a lot of individuals, they'll go do life. But to get death penalty, that just changes the whole equation.
So back to the trial part, because so you're sitting there, you listen to it every day. Did you stay in when the autopsy and the crime scene photographs?
Yeah, I was every day. I was.
So this is a young man who passed away. He was 16 years old. This is older brother speaking about.
A lot of family members get up and leave, or I tell my family members, because every homicide victim I have, their families become my family, right? Mm-hmm. And when we go to trial, I'll be like, "Mama, just step outside for a little bit, right? You don't need to see this." But so you sat through all of it.
Yeah, I sat through. I wanted to hear it. The hardest part, besides hearing when they jumped him, was when my dad had to get up there and talk.
Oh, tell me about that.
So he had to get up there and first tell how we were all No Limit fans,
right?
And then how Steve would never go to a prom, how he would never be married.
Yeah.
In the 90s, I believe from 96 up to when C Murder did his crime, they were one of the most popular hip-hop rap group, making the most money. I wonder why C Murder wanted to throw it all away.
Oh yeah, you never get to see him.
Yeah, you never see the adult version. And that like,
sad.
And my dad, like I say, he's a tough man, never show emotion. So when
it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I'm not sure if C Murder will ever make it out. Most likely not. They said Master P called the brother and apologized to him for what his brother did, allegedly. That's crazy when your own brother decides, you know what, to do the right thing. Till next time, F Service TV, tell a friend, tell a friend. Here we go. Don't forget, this is only for entertainment purposes. That's it.